Should you be selling your altcoins right now? In today's video, we are going to discuss 3 very important charts regarding altcoins. We are going to talk about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We are going to talk about the Bitcoin dominance chart. And we are also going to talk about the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. So basically the total crypto market cap when it comes down to altcoins and Ethereum. Are these 3 charts indicating that we should either sell our altcoins and try to buy them at lower levels, or if we should maybe be buying altcoins, anticipating the next leg higher and anticipating potential 10x gains? The first chart, guys, is the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, and this is a chart that I've talked about many times, and I remain super bullish on this one. We have a range with range pivot number 1, range pivot number 2, and the range pivot number 3 over here. We can see that the price over here swept the range low. After sweeping the range low on the weekly, it put in a break of structure, turned out to be a trap, and the price went for the liquidity once again beneath the range low, putting in a bigger second deviation. Now, the first reason why I'm very bullish on Ethereum versus Bitcoin is based off the weekly time frame, because what we are looking at, guys, is the price is near a very high time frame range low, that we are forming a bullish divergence right on the weekly time frame, in which the RSI is forming higher lows over here and the price action over here is forming lower lows. So we are forming a strong bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, and bullish and bearish divergences on the weekly time frame are usually pretty strong indications that a potential high time frame top or a potential high time frame bottom is in. Also, guys, don't forget to use these weekly bearish divergences when they are confirmed to start locking in your profits when we come to a potential top in the bull market. But now, guys, in order to really become extremely bullish, there's one thing that needs to happen on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. Besides the massive bullish divergence and besides the sweep of liquidity near the range low area, something that we need to consider over here as well is that the daily trend is still to the downside. Okay, so in order to really flip extremely bullish over here on Ethereum versus Bitcoin, we can see that we have a significant high over here. So far we only swept that significant high. Guys, I need a break of structure of this significant high over here. Okay, so what do I mean by a break of structure? I mean that we need to open and close a candle above this high, which is a significant high because it brought us to a fresh low over here compared to this low that brought us to that high. So it's a significant high to break. Now, once we open and close a candle above this high over here, I think we are good to go. So far, it looks like that the price is giving us a perfect retest of the range low level, as we can see, right? Beautiful perfect retest of the range low. Now, quite often these perfect retests are designed to trap a lot of people into longs on this bounce. So I wouldn't be surprised if price goes and mitigates the sells to liquidity first, then pushes up, gives us that shifted structure, then we get played a higher low, and then Ethereum versus Bitcoin is going to give us a reversal. And once it gives us that reversal, guys, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is going to outperform, which means that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, which means that based on this range, after a deviation of the range low, what should we be targeting? The liquidity pool around the mid-range at first, which is right over here, which means that if the price of Ethereum versus Bitcoin is going to go there, Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin by almost 28%, which is something that we should definitely not underestimate, which means that if Bitcoin remains stagnant, Ethereum will still have a 28% increase. Okay, and that is definitely something we should not underestimate. And a move towards the range high liquidity pool, guys, that would be a move of almost 70%, which is even crazier. Guys, the Bitcoin dominance chart is definitely looking very interesting and looking like a potential top as well. Why is it looking like a potential top, guys? While Ethereum versus Bitcoin is forming a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, the Bitcoin dominance chart is forming a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame over here. Once again, a strong indication for a potential top, and definitely not something that we should be underestimating over here on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now we can see that after reaccumulating over here, we saw a breakout, and that breakout offered a perfect retest. Guys, I've taught you guys, these perfect retests, they act as a draw on liquidity. If you have such a perfect retest of such an obvious support or resistance level, this level over here will act as our draw on liquidity. Okay, so this is my target for the Bitcoin dominance chart. But what could be a trigger for the Bitcoin dominance chart to actually start going for this liquidity over here? Now, in order to go for this low over here, which would mean that the Bitcoin dominance chart would see a decrease of approximately 10%, which is massive. In order to get there, guys, we need to see some signs of weakness. Now, the first sign of weakness will be a break of this pivotal trend line, in which we have tap number 1, tap number 2, tap number 3, beautiful deviation, and tap number 4. Now, if we are going to test this trend line once again, which is pretty likely if we look at the current chart, if we see a breakdown below this trend line, I think that this should be our first target. All right, and guys, like I said, that means a 10% decrease. Now, also if we analyze the local structure on the Bitcoin dominance chart, in order to really shift very bearish, we can see that we have a high time frame break of structure over here, and then we have a low time frame, a local break of structure over here. First sign of weakness would be breaking through this wide local break of structure on the daily time frame. So we get a bearish weekly divergence in confluence with a bearish break of structure on the daily. I think that is a strong indication for further downside for the Bitcoin dominance chart. So Ethereum against Bitcoin chart is looking primed for upside, but only if we get a daily bullish break of structure. The Bitcoin dominance chart is looking primed for downside, but only if we get a bearish daily break of structure, which means that we are already seeing certain triggers for upside and downside, which would be very bullish for altcoins. But in order to get that final trigger, we need to get daily time frame confirmation and a daily time frame bullish and bearish break of structure. Now, if we get these guys, long your longs on altcoins, buy as much spot as you can. But to answer the question where we started the video with, should I sell my altcoins right now? I think if you're selling your altcoins right now, you're pretty dumb. I know that many of you guys have bought at the top, in which I told you guys to wait with buying altcoins. Now they're down 50 to 60%. If you sell when they are down 50 to 60%, inside of a bull market, in my opinion, you are out of your mind. That's not financial advice. This is the way that I see it. I have been accumulating over the past 2 weeks, and I will remain accumulating as much as I can over the next few weeks and months, anticipating the next leg higher. Because the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin is also indicating a similar scenario. The total crypto market cap is giving us a beautiful range of the previous bull market, with range pivot number 1, 2, and 3 over here, and range pivot number 4 over here, and a range pivot number 5 and 6 over here. Massive deviation of the range low. Guys, we know that after a deviation of the range low, first target is the mid-range, which we have reached already. Second target, it's the range high unmitigated liquidity pool. Guys, we put in equal highs over here. This chart over here looks very similar compared to Bitcoin when it started its massive run up from here. Okay, why? Because Bitcoin also deviated first above the mid-range, okay, and then it started front running this quarterly level over here, or it started testing that quarterly level, which also acted as massive support over here for the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. And also over here we can see that we are testing this 3-day order block over here. Now if we move to the daily time frame, we can see that it's still possible to get another test of this entire demand area that was forming around that quarterly level. I don't really mind to get another test of this entire demand that we have been forming over here. But guys, if you become bearish over here after a strong correction on this chart of approximately, let's say 20 to 30%, I think you're not gonna make it. I think that this chart is a beautiful fractal. It is looking extremely similar compared to Bitcoin when Bitcoin started its run up from here towards a brand new all-time high. And if this chart is going to run to a new all-time high, then we know that these kind of charts, after reaching the all-time high, they always start a parabolic run, but only towards the all-time high, guys, it's already an increase of approximately 73%. Now, the previous time that this chart broke through the all-time high, we can see that it gave us a massive increase of approximately, let's say, another 261%. And that is definitely something we should keep in mind right now. So I think that all charts are indicating that a potential bottom for altcoins might be in, that instead of selling, you should be buying as much as possible. Once again, not a financial advice. This is the way that I play it. I've been waiting to deploy my USDT. Those that follow me for a longer period of time know that I accumulated the bear market bottom, not by accident. I simply had my limit orders ready, and on almost all of my altcoins, they all got hit. I took a lot of profits along the way up because I knew that there would be a midterm crash somewhere on altcoins. Now I finally have that midterm crash. I have that correction of 50 to 60%, and now is the time, in my opinion, to start accumulating altcoins once again to anticipate the next leg higher. I'm still about 25% in USDT, but I'm ready to also deploy that USDT onto the market soon once I get my confirmation based on the daily market structure break to the upside on Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and based on the daily market structure break to the downside on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Once I get these confirmations, I will also insert the rest of my USDT. I will also deploy the rest of my USDT onto the market, anticipating the next leg higher to brand new all-time highs for plenty of altcoins and for Ethereum. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy today's YouTube video, make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys on Monday's video again. Ciao, ciao.